Have you ever looked at that shiny new car in your driveway and felt a sense of pride? What if I told you that very same car is actually a thief? It is not stealing your time or your energy. It is stealing your freedom and your golden years. In 2025, the American dream of owning a new car has turned into a financial nightmare. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans is now considered car poor. They are spending almost 24% of their monthly income just to keep 4 wheels turning. This is not just a minor budget issue, it is a massive transfer of wealth from your pocket to the bank. And for those of us nearing retirement, this mistake can be fatal for our savings. The media and the manufacturers have done a great job of selling us a lie. They tell us that a new car means safety. They tell us that a new car means peace of mind. But for many people, that new car smell is just the scent of a breaking budget. Consider the average Social Security benefit of $2,000 per month. Now compare that to the average cost of owning a new vehicle. That cost has climbed to over $11,500 per year. That is almost $965 every single month. How can someone live a dignified life when half of their check goes to a machine that sits in the garage? The truth is harsh, and it is time we face it together. Buying a new car today, even if you think you can afford the payment, is often a terrible mistake. It is an investment in a depreciating asset that loses value faster than ice melts in the sun. We have been conditioned to believe that we need the latest technology and the best safety features. But at what cost? Is a slightly better camera system worth working 5 extra years? Is a leather interior worth sacrificing your ability to travel in retirement? Most people do not realize how deep the rabbit hole goes. The monthly payment is just the tip of the iceberg. When you add in insurance, registration, fuel, and maintenance, the numbers become terrifying. Insurance alone is costing car owners an average of $1,600 per year. And that is for a car that is already losing 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. For a generation that values independence, this is the ultimate trap. You think the car gives you freedom to go where you want. In reality, the car dictates where you can go and what you can do. It forces you to cut back on dining out and social activities. It forces you to cancel vacations and stay home. It turns you into a prisoner of your own driveway. Let us talk about the math that the dealerships do not want you to understand. The average new car today costs $50,000. To make these prices look affordable, lenders are extending loan terms to dangerous lengths. 7-year auto loans are now at an all-time high. That is 84 months of payments on an asset that is constantly losing value. By the time you pay off the loan, the car might need major repairs that you cannot afford. Even worse is the growing problem of negative equity. About 26% of people trading in a car owe more than the car is worth. The average amount of this debt is over $6,700. They roll that old debt into a new loan and the cycle repeats. They are paying interest on money they already spent on a car they no longer own. This is mathematical insanity. If this happened in any other area of finance, people would call it a scam. But because it is a car, we accept it as a normal part of life. We tell ourselves it is a necessity. But is a $50,000 vehicle a necessity? Or is reliable transportation the actual necessity? There is a huge difference between the two. For those of us between 50 and 70, every dollar counts more than ever. We no longer have decades of working years ahead of us to recover from big mistakes. We have to be the masters of our money, not the servants of our lenders. The one more year syndrome is a real phenomenon. People keep working just 1 more year to pay off a car or save a bit more. But that 1 year of your life is worth far more than any car ever could be. The industry relies on our desire for status and our fear of repair bills. They want you to fear the older car. They want you to think that a used vehicle is a ticking time bomb. But modern cars are built better than they were 30 years ago. A well-maintained vehicle that is 5 or 6 years old can easily last another decade. By choosing a used car, you let the first owner pay for the heaviest depreciation. You let them lose the first $10,000 or $15,000 of value. Then you step in and buy a reliable machine for a fraction of the cost. Imagine saving $300 every single month by making this one choice. If you took that $300 and put it into a simple index fund, the results are life-changing. Over 20 years, at a 7% return, that money grows to over $150,000. That is the difference between a stressed retirement and one of true comfort. That is the money that pays for the medical bills, the trips to see grandkids, and the peace of mind. True wealth is not about what you drive. It is about what you own and how much freedom you have. The richest people I know do not drive the flashiest cars. They drive reliable vehicles that are paid for in full. They understand that a car is a tool, not a trophy. When you break free from the cycle of new car payments, your stress levels drop. You no longer worry about every little scratch or the rising cost of insurance. You have a cushion in your bank account that protects you from life's surprises. Half of Americans have delayed necessary car repairs because they simply cannot afford them. They are driving unsafe vehicles because their monthly payments are too high. This is the reality of being car poor. It is a state of constant anxiety disguised as a middle-class lifestyle. We see our neighbors with new SUVs, and we feel the pressure to keep up. But we do not see their credit card statements or their empty retirement accounts. We do not see the nights they spend staring at the ceiling, wondering how to pay the bills. Comparison is the thief of joy, but in this case, it is also the thief of your future. It is time to stop playing the game by their rules. You do not need a new car to be successful or safe. You need a plan that puts your future first. Start by looking at your current transportation costs with total honesty. Are you spending more than 15% of your take-home pay on your car? If the answer is yes, you are in the danger zone. It might be time to sell the high-payment vehicle and buy something modest with cash. It might feel like a step backward in status, but it is a giant leap forward in freedom. The feeling of driving a car that you own completely is better than any new car smell. It is the feeling of weight being lifted off your shoulders. As we move deeper into 2025, the economy is not getting any easier. Inflation is a silent killer of purchasing power. Housing and healthcare are already expensive enough. Why would you volunteer to give a huge portion of your income to a car company? They are profiting from our desire for convenience. They are building their empires on our monthly payments. It is time to take that power back. Focus on the things that actually bring meaning to your life. Your relationships, your health, and your experiences. No one on their deathbed ever said they wished they had spent more money on a Honda. They wish they had spent more time with people they love. They wish they had worried less about what the neighbors thought. Break the cycle of being car poor before it breaks your retirement. The second million comes faster than the first, but only if you have the first. And you cannot build that first million if your money is leaking out into a car loan. Compounding works for you or it works against you. When you save and invest, compounding builds your mountain of wealth. When you take out long-term loans, compounding builds the bank's mountain of wealth. Choose which mountain you want to contribute to today. You have the power to change your financial trajectory at any age. It starts with a single decision to value your future over your current image. Be the person who is rich in private, not the person who looks rich in public. That is the ultimate contrarian move in our modern society, and it is the only move that leads to true, lasting peace. Thank you for listening to these truths today. If this message helped you see things differently, please share it with someone you care about. We all need to support each other in making smarter choices for our golden years. Remember, your life is worth more than any machine. Stay focused on what truly matters, and I will see you in the next analysis.